Alright guys, so today's video is sponsored by .tech domains. If you're in the market to build a website, whether it be for yourself, for a brand, or possibly a business, you realize it's kind of hard to find one that's short and sweet and still pertains to what you do. Now, I actually was having that same issue, but when I realized companies like Viacom, Intel, and CES all used a .tech domain, I figured it was time to give it a shot. And right now with their Black Friday to Cyber Monday special, which is running from November 26th to December 2nd, you can get up to 90% off. All you have to do is go to the link go.tech/Gamesky and make sure to use the code BFCM19. Now all of this information will be below in the description, but I'd like to thank .tech domains for sponsoring today's video. Alright guys, so today we're going to take a look at basically a revamped version of one of my favorite pair of truly wireless earbuds. And the pair we're going to look at is the new MiFo 05 Plus. Now this pair just started to go on sale today. I'll put a link to the 05 Plus and then to the original 05, which it looks like the company is just going to be sending out the 05 Plus to replace the 05 anyway. But what they did do is they added a very important feature, which we'll get into, but I'm going to review this as though I haven't reviewed the other ones, basically like a refresh review of the MiFo 05s. But to start with the price, it looks like the price is going to be exactly the same. It's going to be somewhere between like $80 to $87, and this pair still has some of the most impressive features of any pair of truly wireless earbud. But let's go ahead and check out some of those specs and what you get inside the box. Now these do use Bluetooth 5.0, and these had some of the best stable connection that I've had with any other pair of truly wireless earbuds. I also didn't experience any lag with watching YouTube or Netflix, so again, that is another huge plus. Now another thing that's always been nice about these is they are Ipx7 waterproof. So you can go out and do whatever you need to do, and it's not a pair that you have to worry about. Now inside the box, you get 7 sets of silicone ear tips. Now I noticed inside the box, the ones that came on them, I didn't have a good fit with those right away, so I had to kind of play around with the other ear tips to get the right seal, but I was able to, and that makes a huge difference when it comes to sound. Now as far as the charging cable, I am sad to say that they are still using the micro USB cable, but speaking of the cable, the battery life is one of the big selling points about these, because individually you're going to get somewhere between 6 to 7 hours of use, but with the charging case you're going to get around 100 hours on the battery that comes in the case. That's again one of the most impressive I've seen on any other pair of truly wireless earbuds, and I'm happy to see that they kept that in this pair. Now moving on to the case is just absolutely solid. It's very well built. There's a lot of weight to it, but again, that comes because of the 2600 milliamp battery that's being used in here. Another thing that's really impressive is the 100 days of standby time. Which basically means if you don't use them often, if you just keep them in a bag and you just use them occasionally, it's one of those pairs that you're always going to have some kind of battery life, and it's just going to take a long time to drain the battery on these. Now moving on to the earbuds themselves, they still use the dual buttons on both of these. I'm not the biggest fan of this button control, but I have noticed that it seems to be a little bit easier to push, a little bit easier to control, but I still wish that it would either go to touch control or just a single button. But I am happy to say, as far as the controls go, they control everything. So you get play, pause, skip your tracks forward, go backwards, you even get your volume control. And volume control is just one of those features that a lot of earbuds just happen to leave out. Now, one of the big things that I really like about the MiFo 05 Plus is the isolation. This is one of those pairs that, you don't have to play the volume loud to be able to block out a lot of your surroundings. These do an excellent job, and then that really does add to the experience of listening to music, because you don't hear a lot of your outside surroundings coming in, which can affect what you're listening to. Now, this is the huge improvement that they made over the original 05. You now have the ability to use either the left or the right individually, plus they added the feature where you can pair the left to a completely different device than what you pair the right to. So let's say you and your wife go out and you just want to listen to your phone, but you still want to have your ear open so you can hear your surroundings or either talk to each other. She can pair one earbud to her phone, you can pair one earbud to your phone, you both can listen to what you want to and still be able to hear each other and hear other things around you. And I think that's a really important feature that the originals were missing. So I'm very happy to see that they added that. And again, they didn't feel the need to change the price to be able to offer this feature. Now the mics on here do a decent job for calls. I don't think it's anything that's going to blow anybody away, but it's not anything that's going to disappoint anybody either. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the MiFo 05 Plus. I think it's picking up a little bit better on the clarity side, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now I'm playing a crowd noise in the background so that you'd get an idea of what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's move over to the sound, because I've always said it's nice that any pair of truly wireless earbud can offer all the features in the world, but if they don't sound good, they're not worth it. And the MiFo 05s and the MiFo 05 Plus is one of those pairs that is definitely worth it when it comes to sound. Now there is a natural, like airy sound to these. There's not one frequency that's trying to do too much. So the bass is not one of those that's coming in just destroying everything. The treble is not overly bright, and the mids are exactly where they need to be. They're in the middle, a little forward so that you can hear vocals clearly, but everything feels like it has this very nice natural balance. So even though I say a natural presence, the bass and the treble are definitely elevated a little bit, but it's still keeping it more true to its natural tone. So it's not, the treble is not doing too much where it sounds overly bright, and the bass is not doing something where it's just like overly boomy and bass heavy. So as far as the sound stage and the sound imaging, it does feel fairly open because of the airiness that's in the sound. And again, I also think that's because the bass or the treble is not just being crammed right here in your face. It feels like it's a little more laid back, a little bit more sitting back here with the mids. So everything feels like it has a little bit of distance to it, which to me is the way that I like to listen to things. I don't like things to feel like they're right here in front of you and you're not able to kind of tell where things are coming from. You don't have that issue with these. I felt like everything had some nice separation to them, and overall it just made you feel like you were more into a larger room listening to what you were listening to. So as far as my cons go, the micro USB has to go. I really, again, would like to see different button controls on these and maybe just a little bit more volume. I just like things to be louder, or at least give you the option to get them as loud as you want. But other than that, these are still one of the best pair of truly wireless earbuds you can get, and now they just made them even better by adding that single connectivity. It just gives you a little more flexibility on a pair of truly wireless earbuds that's already giving you pretty much every other feature you could possibly want. But guys, that's my review of the brand new MiFo 05 Plus. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.